Hello, this is Rich at Lure Vineyards. I thought it'd be a nice idea to give everybody an idea what's going on in the vineyards this year. It's Tuesday, August 14th of the 2017 harvest year. Anyway, what you're looking at right now is from the northwest corner of the vineyards where our vignoles is. And you can see we've got everything hedged nicely. Undervines look pretty good this year. And we'll take a look at the grapes and you'll see that they're developing pretty nicely. Very typical vignoles. You can see it here. Here, it's hiding under there. I let that happen because I don't want it too exposed yet. Though the vignoles is one of the earliest grapes that we harvest. So we'll walk down the row a little bit here, down the hill a little bit here to the next grape, which is the Bianca. Bianca is a very straight up growing grape. It's very easy to take care of. And it produces pretty heavily as well. So this is some of the Bianca grapes here. And you can see here the larger clusters of the Bianca. And just they all look quite beautiful this year. So far the whites, everything looking great. The next part of the vineyard is new. We planted this last year, so it's its second season of growth. And that is the Sauvignon Blanc. So this all just was pruned back, so we have two, possibly three pretty good trunks for next year. And we will have a harvest next year, so you can look forward to that wine. In the distance, you can see the Pinot Noir. It's all covered by nets. We're going to walk over there in a few minutes and you'll see a little bit closer. But this year, as the birds have been just vicious in attacking the Pinot. So we'll, as we're walking over there, I'll kind of show you what's at the rest of the property here a little bit. It's the home, of course, where we live. And then our garden. And in here this year there's acorn squash, some great looking butternuts already developed. We've got yellow squash and zucchini and basil, which I've already made some pesto from. And you can see lots of sunflowers as we go by here. Looking pretty nice this year. They're getting tall. Some asters. Some parsley down here. Oh, lots of tomatoes. They're just starting out. And of course, I'm going to be going away for vacation for 4 or 5 days, and that's, of course, whenever I go on vacation is when the tomatoes ripen. We're passing by here. Actually, that's my garden shed, which is actually an old 3-hole outhouse. And that shed over here, another garden shed, is a smokehouse. So now we're going to go walking over. We'll go by the front of the Lure tasting room. You can see that here, coming down the hill. And nothing going on today because it's during the week, so it's kind of quiet. But in the front here of the tasting room, we have roses, some Concord grapes, and some Chardonnay grapes. And these are mostly for show, although we, of course, pick them and use them. But they look good there. Now we're coming over to what we call the Gene East Vineyard, and you can see there's Chardonnay in there, the front number of rows. And the Chardonnay is a little bit light crop this year because we did have a pretty good frost on May 11th and 12th. And actually that's the first time that we've had a frost at Lure that really affected us. It's kind of amazing because we are on this great hill here. And it's long slope down. It's hard to see right now from my position, but from the deck you can. Long slope down, and all the cold air usually drains down. So, but you know, I mean, you can still see we'll take a look at some Chardonnay grapes here, and I think they look pretty good. They're not all quite as full as this, but that's okay. Better wine from a few less grapes, I think. And then here you can see the Pinot Noir already mid-August. This is the earliest for sure that I've ever had to net things, and you can see why. You can see at the top of these grapes right here, if I can get myself out of the sunlight blocking this, you can see quite a few of the grapes pecked off under there. So now these are netted. We had to hedge them, spray them, and net them because once I net the grapes I don't really like to spray anymore. Next grapes down are the Chambourcin, and these are going through veraison. Veraison means you're just turning from green to red. And you can see here, but these are tremendous. These grapes produce and one of the most hardiest grapes I can imagine. They produce a lot of grapes, and you also have, it's a little bit hard to tend. You can see we just hedged these maybe 2 weeks ago, and look at the wild vines already. It's okay, but I'll have to end up, we have to get them, get the grapes more exposed. Now down here further is the Cabernet Franc. Again, you can see that's pretty loaded. This stays hedged pretty nicely, and I think we're going to have a great crop. It's just starting through veraison, so no bird pressure yet on these guys. I am a little worried. I may need more nets this year. Usually I'm able to go from one varietal to the other as they start to harvest, because the birds generally just like the grapes just before they're ready to be eaten or harvested for wine. They like it sweet. And the last grapes over here that we have at Lalor are the Riesling, and these are doing pretty well this year as well. So in the background you see corn planted just for animals, not for eating. Anyway, so that is kind of what you're looking at Lalor in 2017. And we'll just take a walk up here. There's a few little buildings here. That's a tiny house reconstructed from an old grain shed. Here's an old corn crib that we use for storage. And in the background you can see the Lalor deck in the front gardens. And so we hope to have lots of people this year here in the fall joining us for both harvest and for some of the fun work in the fields. You know, so I have volunteers are always welcome to come and pick grapes and have a little food and fun later. And so thank you for listening and for hopefully coming to Lalor and enjoying our wonderful place here. Thanks. Bye.